Good afternoon and welcome to TalkSports. It is our weekend program, Saturday Sports Special to be exact. And good, well, I always tempted to say a warm welcome, but it depends on where you are. Let me say good afternoon to you, Rudy and Sylvan. Rudy, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Michael. It's certainly not warm where we at, but for those out there who is in warm, enjoy the warm.
Yes, certainly. And well, as indicated, our program today, we will look at basically a countdown. In fact, it's our penultimate program. It's our
Yeah,
penultimate.
yeah,
So
yes,
next week's program will be our final program. But it's our penultimate program, and we look to start the countdown of some of the highlights of 2025 and looking forward to the prospects for
yeah,
2026. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
promise that one of the things we'll start off today, because today is actually the Kellon Baptiste, the annual Kellon Baptiste Memorial Football game at the Monrouge playing field in Grenada. We did some promotion for that in
Yes, we
our
have. Yes, we have.
program.
Yes, we have.
And
Yeah.
joining us to give us a quick update will be Kyron Baptiste. She is just getting himself organized there. He's a bit mobile today because they're doing all the logistics ahead of the game. So we'll get a
Yeah.
little update from Kyron momentarily once he gets his video
Device up.
intact.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, Rudian, we'll hope to look at the budget, the presentation of the budget. We'll have some highlights from the minister, and then we'll come and
Yeah.
talk about it. And as indicated, we'll dilly dally on some of the start talking about some of the highlights of 2025 and looking forward to 2026. Obviously, our last program we looked exclusively at that. So let's get yeah, Kyron's still organizing. I think he might be a bit mobile. He's driving or whatever it is. So he's trying to get his camera stable, I should say. We want to make sure it's stabilized before we go live with him. Yeah. So today is the annual Kellon Baptiste Memorial Football Game. It's organized by the Kellon Baptiste Foundation, Inc.
Foundation. Yeah.
Yeah. And, basically it's in memory of Kellon Baptiste, a former national
Kilometers.
player, national goalkeeper, and keeping his memories alive. And certainly we want to thank the Kellon Baptiste Foundation and Karen Baptiste in particular. Let me see if I can link up now to Kyron, and that's Heather. I think Heather is there as well. Right,
Yes.
Heather is there as well. Yes. So, folks, give us an update as to the preparations for today's activity at the Monroe playing field.
Yes, Michael. Thank you for having us on the program today. Preparations are going great. We are here right now at the Monroe playing field, finalizing some items here that need to get done. But everything is coming along very well. The sun is out. Everyone is excited. Some players passing through just to see what's going on. But yes, we are ready
Yeah,
to go, man. And we have our two special guests, Tia
yeah.
Lafon, Dominican Olympic medalist, and Dr. Carla Flag.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear that the sun is out because I know for the past few days, um, the rain and all of that, but it's good to know that you have good weather. So, Heather, good afternoon to you also. Tell us,
Hello, good afternoon. It's great to
yes,
be here. This is my first time on your program.
certainly, and I appreciate that. So, tell us your involvement and what has been you have been doing in getting to today's for today's readiness then.
Right. So as Kyron mentioned, this is the 7th annual memorial match in Kellon Baptiste's honor. So we have been doing this for more than 7 years, but it's been really nice to see the growth and the progress of since we first started, when it was just down in Tantine, and we had like begging like our friends and family to come together and bring cases of water and malts and stuff to where we are to where we are today. And we have sponsors like Silver Sands and the IMA Grenada and the government, you that are backing what we're doing because they're loving our commitment and our investment in the youth. And all this is dedicated to Kellon's memory. So it's fun to be part of it. All the guys, it's nice to see the camaraderie. Everybody's trying to defend the Kellon 11 team, and St. David seems to think this year that they're going to beat us. So we're waiting to see that. Meanwhile, we've incorporated the under 15 since last year, because of course we're about promoting the youth and development of the youth. So then they're taking part. So again, that's a lot more to look forward to.
Yeah, and this year you added the important, well, TL for example, is one added, and then you also have
important.
the other.
Okay, we have to
guest.
start.
Yeah.
Yes. So next year we want to incorporate a women's team also playing in Kellon's Memorial Football match. So we're doing things there, but we're going to get there eventually. Yeah.
Let's talk a little more about as Heather mentioned there, bringing the youngsters as part of it, the under 15s, for example. How important you see getting these youngsters involved at a very early age in the memorial match.
So let me speak to that one first. We think that in Grenada, you know Grenada, and we want to keep the youth. We want to give them something to look forward to aspire to doing, and keep them out of trouble. And so we see that sports is just an excellent discipline to be able to do that. And this was what Kellon's vision was. And so we just feel that by continuing and growing that, the youth, you can see we make visits to the various schools around the island, and you can see they just want somebody to believe in them and to invest in them and to tell them that they can do it. So we're just the only way to continue Kellon's work is to start with the youth and make sure that they really have the opportunity to be able to excel, and then we want to take them to the next level through the foundation by giving them opportunities for scholarships abroad. And they get to showcase what they're doing here. We get a lot of presence thanks to programs like yourself to be able to show the world what we've got in Grenada. So it's very important to have the youth.
Yeah. No, Hannah, absolutely right. So as you know, the foundation is all about getting young athletes of skill and train in the proper way, the right way. So we start with the youths, right? GFA did a great job with the grassroots program. We want to help in that regard. Whatever we can do to help with grassroots programs and to also help the youth get opportunities, that's what we're all about. One of our main focus for the foundation is development. How do we get these young athletes developed at an early age, right? We want to start with the primary schools, right? Joseph Smith has a Joseph Academy on the 15, on the 13, on the 11. These are the areas we need to focus on when you talk about grassroots programs. So as a foundation, we want to start right there, and every year have a youth component to the event every year. That doesn't change at all.
Yeah, that's important. So finally let's talk about what's happening and give us a timeline for today. Starting off first with the first game and how you incorporate your guests into today's program.
Well, to speak of the guests, so we decided that again, in supporting the athletes in Grenada, the guest choice was people that we felt that would be influential. They're influential in their own disciplines, and thought that if they were able to come to Grenada and speak to the kids here, that it would show them that you can do it, and show that it's hard work. It takes hard work and dedication. So having these guests, we feel, is very symbolic of the work that we're trying to do with the foundation.
Yes, Mike, and so there's one event, 3 big games, right? The first game, just put on a 15 versus Rangers on a 15, Queen's Park Rangers on a 15, right? Just put one last year, so they are defending champions. So of course, people want to dethrone Just Academy. Second game is the club game, which is the Grandma Generals. Again, they won last year, and they will be playing Judgment.
Did we lost? Hold on. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we wanted to share the love this year where we have teams of South St. George's playing at the event. So second game is a club game, Judgment St. Andrews versus Grandma Generals. And then, of course, the featured match, which is Kellon Baptiste at 11, playing St. David Masters. And St. David's is a good team, a good organized club.
Yeah, it appears so because they have been doing very well in the GFA Premier League as well. Thank you very much, Kyron and Heather. All the best, and we
Thank you
continue
so
to
much
monitor.
for having us. And stay tuned for clips. We have reels, and we're going to be featuring them so you can see what we're doing on the ground.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you to you.
All right.
Host.
Yeah. Okay then. So that's Kyron Baptiste and Heather Bain giving us an update to the annual, that's the 7th annual Kellon Baptiste Memorial Football Game on at the Montrouge playing field today. And as they reported, good weather. That's important because
That's very important.
it has been a very tricky week, we should say.
Yeah.
Grenada this week. In fact, since last week, because remember, some of the sporting activities were affected. But it's good to see that the Kellon Baptiste Foundation is continuing the legacy. And it's important that, we have been speaking about that in terms of keeping the memories alive, right? And some of our folks who have left us and gone. And one of the things that the Baptiste Foundation, the Kellon Baptiste Foundation is doing is keeping the
memories alive.
Kellon Baptiste alive.
Yep.
By having this annual, not just the annual football game, but there's also so many activities they're doing during the year. The foundation is involved in the scholarship program, mentoring some of the sportsmen and sportswomen, and not just basketball, but now track and field, football, various sporting disciplines. So that to me is important. And we as much as we doing our part by promoting and sharing stories on our program, we like to see the corporate Grenada
real action too, not only so we're seeing real action, and as I said that even they're including the youths now, which is, like you said, is the vehicle now. Sports is the vehicle. Certainly it's like one of the big bus. We got to load them on. It is the vehicle, but we just have to make sure that it's it's in the proper management. That the kids could know that they have something to get into, because basketball in your days, in my days, we had football for under 15 and I know young people playing football, and it just gone, and it's so slowly it's coming back now, which is good. But I always had football. Young people always was playing, always was out there. And yes, we could say, well, because of the gadgets and stuff today, but we was always playing. We grew up, we was always playing. Nobody have a phone in their house, nobody had TV, a lot of people didn't have none of this stuff, and we were just out there playing, running. Basketball, we play netball, we do everything. So certainly, to see that now, it's commendable.
Yeah. All right. So thanks very much. Let's thank you to Kyron and Heather once again. Thank you very much for giving us that update. Let's now move on. I want us to get a little insight into the budget, so because I want us to listen, and then we come back and make a comment. Comment on it. The Sports Minister, Delma Thomas, made her presentation to the 2026 budget in Parliament this week.
Mr. Speaker, I say sports development and I laugh because my coordinator and the staff within the ministry say that they have overperformed, they have exceeded all the objectives we had for this year and surpass it, and therefore they need a prize. And I believe that they need a prize, so the prize will be, you're coming Moncton soon. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure you didn't hear not much about sports anyway in the House holiday. Yes. Mr. Speaker, sports, on this side, is essential to youth development, and 2025 Grenada saw unprecedented transformation. We exceeded all objectives and overperformed in the Department of Sports. The National Cricket Stadium, we've heard about it, the lighting for years. We heard about BEAD, we heard about CBN, and we heard about all different things, Mr. Speaker. But the National Lottery Authority assists us in funding, and we are almost in completion phase of the National Cricket Stadium lighting, Mr. Speaker. This will boost tourism. broadcasting, and national prestige. Progress Park Lighting, Mr. Speaker, that's another project that was completed by this government. A project that for years people in St. Andrews have been asking for, the clamoring for Progress Park. And we told them that it couldn't happen because it was too expensive. But under this government, Mr. Speaker, we lit Progress Park, Mr. Speaker. And we upgrade the children playground in St. Andrew. And Mr. Speaker, phase 2 will start in 2026. Paul's cricket development, Mr. Speaker, we will also be upgrading the Paul's playing field to international standard in partnership with Cricket West Indies. St. Andrew's cricket legacy strengthens Nottingham stars like Afi Fletcher and more to come. Mr. Speaker, our Parish Sports Congress strengthen local competition, increase participation and accessibility under Sports for All initiative. And more will happen, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have seen the return of sports not only in secondary school but in primary school. Mr. Speaker, you see, we take those things for granted. But there's one reason why that happens: dark salary return. And so teachers feel compelled. And they are talking, Mr. Speaker, have you ever engaged a teacher recently? They are supporting this government fully because they believe that this government cares not only for the teachers, but they care for the nation's children. Holistic support, physiotherapies, certified coaches, Mr. Speaker, and a lot of things, Mr. Speaker. There are so much things happening under the Ministry of Sports, Mr. Speaker. If I decide to go step by step, the people of St. Andrew Northwest who in the audience may have issues with me because they'll say that I focus so much on the ministry and I've only done one ministry, because you will appreciate that I do have two ministries. Mr. Speaker, but I need to speak about the launch of our Pathway to Champion program. This new program, Mr. Speaker, that was recently launched, signals a bold shift in how we identify, develop, and elevate our young athletes. Let me make it clear from the beginning, Mr. Speaker, this is not a seed program. It is not a social program, and it's not a casual, loosely structured program. It is not designed for every child who simply wants to play sports. This program is for young boys and girls who show real talent, genuine discipline, and the potential to excel locally, regionally, and internationally. The Pathway to Champion program is a structured long-term development system that focuses on discipline, excellent academic performance, and character building. It's built to transform raw ability into true, authentic greatness. The program provides dedicated mentorship, public speaking and communication training, academic mentoring and school attendance support, life skill and emotional wellness, professional guidance. And I want to thank the National Lottery Authority, IMA Grenada, Dr. Earl Braffett, Emmeline Hardway, Dr. Kimal Williams, Office of the Diaspora, and there are individuals, Mr. Speaker, who heard of the program and decided that I want to help one child in cricket. I want to help one child in athletics. I want to help, but I do not want my name to be mentioned because, you know, as small businesses, when your name mentioned, then everybody else will in and say, well, you give a child, give my child, you know, and all that. So we have a number of people coming forward to provide support for our athletes. And so, Mr. Speaker, before I go to mental health, the National Lottery Authorities, Mr. Speaker, continue to stand tall as a pillar of sport development and nation building in Grenada. Its investment, Mr. Speaker, has powered some of the most impactful national projects, from sustaining intercall to the most important school sporting event in our country, to advancing the long-awaited lighting of the Progress Park, lighting of the cricket stadium, the rehabilitation of the playing field. Assistant Delegate spoke about, and the member of St. John spoke about, will come from the National Lottery Authority, Mr. Speaker. Their contribution reaches beyond sports, with major community projects, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and in the upcoming budget, we'll have housing development by the National Lottery Authority in improving. That is the mandate, not just about games. It's about strengthening communities, lifting families, and building a nation prepared for the future.
Yeah. Okay, Rudian, quite a bit from the sports minister, um, and as it relates to sports. Oh, but towards the end, she highlighted the importance of the National Lottery Authority towards
Yeah.
sports, and highlighted also that it's not just sports, but the community engagement, youth development, all these sort of things. But and that also just prior to that, the that pathway to champion program is. I hope I got it right. This pathway to let me see, the correct name is Pathway to Champion Program, right? And she outlined some of the pros of the Pathway to Champion program, and speaking to an official earlier today, about the same program itself. One of the things that they're hoping to do is to utilize some of our past and current sportsmen and sportswomen, particularly those who are nearing, and I'm talking about the current ones, who are nearing the end of their professional careers, right? In terms of coaching and mentoring those young sportsmen and sportswomen, right? So let's look at an example as Andre Fletcher, right? A cricketer. As it is now, Andre Fletcher is probably the only Grenadian cricketer who is carrying the flag, the international flag, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we have Afi Fletcher as well,
Yeah.
but Andre in terms of continuous, because he is also in the franchise league. And the franchise league is big
Yeah.
television audience and things like that. So
Yeah.
one of the things I noticed about that is that when the cricketers are playing, they put their country flag to what besides their name.
The names. Yeah.
That is something we can't really pay for. You're talking about
Yeah.
millions of people on a weekly basis getting to know and knowing about Andre Fletcher, Grenada. Because the commentators will speak about the Spice Man, they'll speak about Grenada. And you talking about, and when you compare that sometimes to, and I'm using public track and field because we have, probably we have a handful of athletes who are, international stardom. But when you look at the track and field window compared to the cricket window, right, it's a big window because you're talking about cricket that's going now. That league that he's in now is going now until the new year. And then after that, it goes into another cycle of cricket. In fact, cricket is almost all year round because you have down under in Australia when it's, winter here, it's summer down there. So you have series in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa in the south, and then you have those over in the far, Asia and things like that. So I am saying that to say someone like Andre Fletcher, for example, is one that can be used in that sort of program. Even Afi Fletcher is another one. And I'm just looking at cricket, for example. They're coming towards the end of their professional career. So when they're home, they can be part of this Pathway to Champion program. The same thing can be done for probably athletics in terms of various aspects of the track and field. Okay? Getting folks who have the time, to be part of the program. That sort of thing like that. So, right? Yeah.
No, most definitely, and that's really what we need, right? Because they are the face right now. So, by the fact that they're being the face right now, it makes it a lot easier for them to. It makes it a lot easier for them to.
These are the sort of things that, and that's something I gathered out of that when she mentioned about it, the pathway to, to champion, and I think over the period of time, we probably might get a little more information about it regarding that pathway to champion program. Getting these folks involved, getting them part of the process, helping them, mentoring, right? Our athletes, you know, getting them to, and by the way, when we say athletes, we're not just talking about track and field, right? We're talking about cricket, football, you know, tennis, whatever it is like that. So, and then we have to move away from a lot is being done now, Rudian, about infrastructure and things like that. So, but at the same time, infrastructure is one, but what's about the development, human development? You know, human development is important because you can have a lot of lights and playing field and this, that, but you know, what say you?
Yeah. No, certainly. I mean, you could have all this thing, but if you're not developing in that part, it's like almost like what's the whole point, you know?
Yeah.
So they have to be, yes, and they are doing a lot. Um, this
Well, yeah,
administration,
no
like we
question
have
about that.
said over and over, we have given them the credit, we're giving them the flowers. We have seen their interest in sports. We have seen it in this administration. There is no doubt about it. And I think the people could also say the same thing. They are there, they are involved, they are supporting, they are investing, which is really what which is what we want to see. Understand? But it's not just about, yes, we have a cricket stadium that's lighting. We have a big screen that is better than the Jamaica screen, but and then there is nothing happening. Yes, we light the field at Progress Park, but yes, there is no activities happening there. Yes, we do this, and then there is nothing. So certainly, it's um it's something that we really have to look at. And again, Michael, which is what I said, and I'm going to say it over and over again. That's why it's very important for the parish sports council to come in, because all those things that they are doing, all those facilities they are building, that's where it coming in, where it's going to be used, where it's going to be, they're thinking about the young people, they're thinking about sports, and it just wouldn't be sitting there and then nothing happening. So certainly, and the fact that you'll be going more into it. Remember, we mentioned about the four recreation ground, making sure the washrooms is taken care of, making sure all this new development, because if it's there, if it's not being used, there is no need for them to fix anything. So if it's definitely being active and it's being used, they're going to start seeing fixtures start being fixes. You're going to start seeing all these things happening. So certainly, it's a good thing. And I am giving again kudos to this administration for what they have done in sports. And again, for the involvement, they have certainly made a difference that I really haven't seen in a very long time. Is certainly involving in sports, involving the young people, involving the people of Grenada in sports. So certainly, kudos to them.
Right. One of the things that's also important is that when our officials, particularly, they tend to at times make these grand promises, right? And sometimes I think it has to do a lot with the sport of the moment, and things like that. So, right,
Mm-hmm.
they make these promises to these sportsmen and sportswomen as it relates to what they well what they plan to do. Sometimes
They
what
plan
they
to
will
do.
do.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
they plan to do, what they will do. And these things are not manifested into
Reality.
reality. And reality meaning as well, in that you attend a function, let's say a welcome home at the airport, and you make all these promises, but don't follow up in terms of, institutionalizing it, making sure that it has a cabinet conclusion, etc., etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
2, 3 years from now, there's nothing to show except a promise was made. A promise was made on the airport or wherever it is to
Wherever it
give
is.
this person this or that or the other. And there lies the problem. And sometimes I wish that before there is these utterance, that there can be something that is concrete, Okay, not just an uttering that we will do this or we will do that. And even if you do that or you say that, there should be some sort of follow up. And we
Follow
have
up. Yeah.
seen where a lot of our sportsmen and sportswomen have been promised things in the past, and
Yeah.
some
We
of
have
them
seen that.
never
Never.
materialized. Three, four,
Never.
5 years later, nothing has materialized because
10 years, 20 years later.
there's nothing to show to, not even a paper trail
Yeah.
to show that a recommendation was made to a cabinet and there was a cabinet conclusion and the cabinet agreed or the cabinet did not agree, and things like that. So, and there lies the problem. And I think we have to move away from these things
Yeah.
because it causes a lot of problems and it sows a lot of discomfort among some of our sportsmen and sportswomen.
Yeah.
And you see
And
that especially Rudy and in light, just let me finish that. And in light of what's happening too, because what happened is that you're seeing so many things being done for others, right? And then you ask yourself, but I was promised this, I was promised that, and nothing was materialized. Go ahead.
yeah. Like we had the situation in Jamaica. Let me use that. But we see some of the guys who leave, and one of them mentioned, well, nothing coming in for them. They expect to get something, and is they speak with upset, so they don't speak with that professional aspect about it, because there's ways to do certain things. So now you just come out there and you speak, and people don't understand you. They look at you as being ungrateful, looking at you as doing this and that. You know what I mean? So there's ways to manage certain things. There's ways to do certain things. There's ways for us to be professional. And certainly, if we are not in that in that concept there, then we're looking bad, and we have, like I said, this thing we have in front of us, Michael, and me, I have my phone in front of us, and I have the computer open here. These are the things that globally, our talk now could end up in India. This is what we're saying here. People could watch it in India, in China, in Australia, as far as the world go. As long as somebody have this device and they go on there and they can see us talking, they can watch us live, or they can watch us later on. So the things you say do, what you put out there on social media do matters. So when you say something in Parliament or you say something there, those things we go back and we say, hey, but you said this here, because here's the proof. So certainly we're hoping that those things can materialize, and they can be a paper trail, they can be more professional in certain things. If you're going to give something, say. If you're not going to give, say you're not going to give. If you didn't approve, say you didn't approve. But don't have this, this former athletes or current athletes 2-3 years later, nothing, absolutely nothing. You discourage them. You discourage them. And then we're talking about alliance now. We're talking about, well, they may want to, go to another country and they don't have no loyalty to the country. No, that's not really what it is. You got to understand, it's more than that. So when you really get to the depth and say, oh, that's why, I understand now. But before you spread the name, you put them on social media saying they're not loyal, they're not this and that. But when you hear the real story, now you get to understand this is why they leave. This is why they choose to think of themselves than, than the situation, because nothing was coming in for them. So, yeah.
Yep. Yes. Hopefully, these are things that
Yeah.
things that I've experienced for 2025 and well, even before that. I hope for a change in going forward, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, certainly.
Let me also take the time to congratulate St. John's Sports. I believe it's the GFA Premier League champions for 2025, 2026 Premier League champions. Am I correct? I hope so.
Yeah, I think,
I saw something yet. GFA Premier League champion St. John's Sports. I saw them with a big banner congratulating. Yes, so that's one that we have to, well, at least say congratulations, because over the years we have seen, whether it's the Premier League or the Waggy T, it used to be
yeah.
Paradise. It used to be Paradise, right?
It should be Paradise.
So,
Yeah.
now we see the change of guard. We also
You see a change of guard. Yeah.
we also seen the rise of St. David's also. St. David's FC in the Premier League, they did pretty well. So we seen some, as they say, good things are happening also in the
Good things, yeah, yeah.
in sports. But
In sports, yeah, yeah.
yeah. The other thing that will be happening, Rudy, and remember, is that once we get past the next few weeks, we into 2026, and it will be the countdown for two major activities in Grenada, in particular in terms of track and field. It will be intercall, right? We'll have intercall, and we'll also have
The character
the character
games,
games. Yes.
yeah,
So we have the
yeah,
intercall scheduled for March 10th to the 12th, 10, 11,
yeah,
12th,
yeah.
intercall.
And then
The
what? 3 weeks later, 3 weeks later
Karate
will be
Games, Athletic
yeah,
Stadium, and then
and
the
then yeah,
character
three
games,
weeks later, character
3 weeks
games,
later,
yeah,
April
a
4th,
month give or take,
5th,
yeah.
and 6th, right? So we have to um, look out for that, prepare for that,
Yeah,
because it will be non-stop action on.
action.
Um,
Yeah,
one school down already, the Grenada Boys Secondary
more
School.
secondary school.
They held
Yeah,
the annual athletics track and field championships on
was it your
the
house? Was it your house that win? Which house that win? Is it your house?
no, the Blue House, which is Archer.
Okay.
Yeah, my house is a Red House, which is Maguire House. It has not
Um,
tasted
I, I,
victory in a very long
listen,
time. Yeah.
Bascom, for some reason, I am red too. For McDonald College, certainly on Fridays, and we certainly haven't seen, the light of anything great in a long time. So I don't know if
People
I
like
have to go back and do
people like
something.
folks like Roger and Chenny and others. Well, I think Roger probably was in Baptiste house, which is yellow, but definitely I know Chenny Joseph was in red, which is Maguire.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Chenny added a few points when he was there because he used to try to dabble in everything, so he gave a couple of points. I don't know what much Roger gave for. I think it's Baptiste, if I'm not mistaken. Roger look at the Baptiste guy. Yeah,
Look
he
like
look
a
at
blue. Yeah, you look
yeah.
like a blue. Yeah.
No, blues Archer. Blues Archer, green is
Blue's
Hughes.
Archer. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So it's
yeah,
yellow.
yeah. Yellow is Baptiste. Yeah,
Yeah.
he will let me know later what else. Yeah, and the same time this week we saw the draw for the World Cup. Um,
Yes, certainly. I
yeah,
was certainly was on it a minute ago. And I was quite
Edwin,
intrigued with
Edwin. All right, so Edwin is actually Archer. Okay, so
oh,
Edwin
Aaron is
times.
Archer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna draw.
Yes, I was from Portugal. Mr. Roger, you're calling things early, boy. You're the prophet.
Well,
Yeah, the
I was
prophet.
waiting until they complete the entire
Full,
draw.
the full
Yeah, the full.
complete
Yeah,
draw. Yeah, yeah, the full
yeah.
complete draw.
They have to draw the
Um,
full pool
the
because
full
one of
pledge.
those
Yeah, yeah.
no name teams could probably give problems within a pool. So I
Listen,
know
a
we
lot of
want to.
well, put it this way: we're looking at Pool B, and a lot of people think Italy should be coming out of this because Italy seems to be the best out of all of them. But I'm saying, first of all, Italy shouldn't be there. Knowing Italy shouldn't be there. So the fact that Italy is in this position, it damn shows that Italy is not as good as they once was. So I'm not too sure. And I think out of that group, I think Wales might be that team that will be coming out of that group B, um, play that first game versus Canada.
Who you said?
I think it might be Wales. Yeah, I think
Why
it
you
might be
think?
Wales.
Why you think
Because like
so?
we talk about an unknown team. Someone like um, March Madness. You always have that Cinderella team that coming out from nowhere, that come and do something. We never thought to see Saudi Arabia will beat Argentina in the last World Cup. That was not a sight anybody would have expected to see. But it happened. Yes, Argentina continue on and winning the World Cup, but it happened. So I just think that we have a Cinderella team that nobody expect will be coming up there, and certainly to see. I think the biggest opening game for us, hoping that Jamaica make it, will be Jamaica Portugal. I think that would be such a big game because a lot of people believe is the year for Portugal. Don't think so. Not at all. But that would be such a big game. We're really hoping that Jamaica could make us proud. We as Caribbean people, so it's not Jamaica, but it's the Caribbean team, um, and make us proud. But certainly, but even watching this whole pool, Bascom, maybe Roger could say something on that. I think the
Already, and
easiest pool,
we have those that confirm already, like 30.
yeah, like Haiti. Certainly Haiti is there as well. Yeah. I think the easiest pool here is
What's it?
certainly
Sorry,
the
I didn't get
Argent.
it. Is it?
Uh, Say it again. I say I think the easiest pool out of this is Argentina pool. I think is maybe the
Argentina?
weakest pool. Yeah, I think that J is the weakest one. In terms
Mhm.
of the wicked. I don't see a pool of death. I haven't seen it. However, I think the toughest pool to get out from is L, which is England, Croatia, and Ghana. Yeah, Panama is there, but I think that will be a tough pool to come out in. Out of all the pools that I've seen, I think it's L. To me, this is a pool of death. I think it's L.
But what's about Haiti? You know, do you think that the Haitians can do something?
So they're going against Brazil and Morocco. We have suddenly seen what Morocco youths has been
Yeah,
doing. We have seen what
don't
Morocco
try
has been
to.
doing.
But, but,
No,
but
I'm just
William,
looking at that in a
don't
sense, right?
try to
Looking at
put
that in a sense.
names.
Yeah,
Not
no,
the
no, no,
names.
certainly. But I know, but I'm just saying we have kind of see, what those teams, have developed over the past years.
Yeah.
Certainly, even Scotland itself. So yes, you'll certainly be nice to see, Haiti do something, make us proud as well. But they're in a tough pool. It's a tough one. It's certainly the tough pool.
All right. So
Yeah,
I have the pool as it is up
yeah.
on the screen there, right? In Group A we have Mexico, South Africa, uh, Korea,
Korean
and
Republic.
then we have the playoff of winner D, right?
Yeah.
And then Group B, which I hear you talking about, is Canada, the playoff of winner A, Qatar, and Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, put it this way: Switzerland is a phenomenal team. So and Qatar is a good team, but I still see Switzerland and Canada coming out of that group.
all right. So going back to Group A,
Yeah.
you're seeing Mexico as perennial, as host, as perennial. Normally Mexico makes it probably all the way to the quarters, and things like that. You see Mexico, one of the teams that making it through, right? To the next
Yes,
stage.
Mexico. I think to me that is the pool that you can see Mexico and one of this European draw teams in the bottom.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
and I think it could be one of those two teams. Yeah,
And
I
in
think
Group
it may
B,
be.
you're seeing Canada, right? As one of.
I say Canada and Switzerland. Yeah,
All right. And Group
the
C,
two
we
teams
have
come off, right?
Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland.
Jesus.
Um,
I mean, definitely Brazil and Morocco. I
Not even the Scottish.
even I don't I no I don't see it.
All right. Group D is USA, Paraguay, Australia, and the playoff of winners C. Well, if you follow the United States media, you'll think that the US won the World Cup already, yeah? Because
Yeah, suddenly
they
I
they're already looking forward to who they're playing in the quarterfinals and this, that, and the other. But that's besides the point. Let's see who is the next team in that pool, and then we'll be able to determine because sometimes some teams show up to play, you know,
no,
and no name,
certainly
no
and
name to
listen,
be there.
let me say this. Yes, I go back and I talk about England that have a tough pool in there. The US have a tough pool. No, again, um, over the years, we have seen the US team have been such a good team over the years. Um, and they have done good. Sometimes we think they've been robbed or whichever it is. They suddenly have a good team. But this pool could be a tough pool. And the US not making it through wouldn't be a surprise to me.
Yeah.
It would not be a surprise. It could be it would not be a surprise to me.
All right. In Group E, Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. Newbies, Curacao is a newbie to that. Ivory Coast, you can't really. The Africans normally give trouble. They may not get
They
into
do.
the semi and the final, but they do give
Yeah,
some
they
trouble.
do. But this is
So,
also a tough pool again.
and yes, and the
Um,
Germans have had a very rocky, few years.
Rocky season. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've been rocky. But and again, we have seen countries come up, we have seen teams step up. But yes, I know we always look at teams like the Germans and stuff who have won a World Cup in the past. We kind of look at that. So you kind of say, well, yes, they are in there, but this is also an interesting pool. It's also
yeah.
an interesting pool, very much so.
Group F is Netherlands, Japan,
Well,
Winnaby,
the Netherlands is the Netherlands is my second team in the World Cup. Always been, and
and
I see the Netherlands and Japan coming out of this pool.
the Japanese always they tend to
Yeah,
give
they tend to give some kind of little trouble.
in Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. The Belge,
Uh, well, the
teams are
Belgium, yes, the Belgium will go through, and I think the other three teams are toss up. Um,
yeah, there is a toss up. Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Yeah,
yeah, that is a toss up. That certainly is a toss up. It's
right.
surely is a toss up.
Uh,
Yeah.
in Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. That should be an
Yeah.
easy one for
Spain
Spanish.
and Uruguay. Yeah, Spain and
Probably
Uruguay,
Spain and
certainly.
Uruguay.
Yeah,
And
Spain
then
and Uruguay.
Group I, France, Senegal, playoff winner 2, and Norway.
Where's
France
Roger? Where's Roger? I just see put something up. Roger,
did,
my
yeah.
two teams in this pool, Roger, is Norway and Senegal. No, I'm just playing, Roger. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just
Yeah, obviously on paper, I don't think there's any
playing.
question France. In Group I, France,
France.
Senegal. Mhm.
I think I listen. It's France for sure, and I think it could be a toss up. Like again, Senegal. Like I said, we see these African teams and them start playing football. We start seeing a difference in football within the African nations. So it could be France and Senegal, or it could be France and Norway. It's just one of those. Yeah.
All right, in Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan.
I tell you the truth, I don't know about the other teams. I just know my favorite team, Argentina. And the other teams,
And
anything can
that's a problem,
happen.
Julian.
That's the problem.
There lies a problem.
That's the problem. I don't know, you know. But yeah, this one, the second team could be a toss up. And to the defense that I haven't seen those teams played. I've seen a few other teams played. I haven't seen those teams played. So certainly,
Yeah.
it is a toss up for me. Yeah.
Another interesting group is Group K with Portugal, the
Yeah.
playoff winner 1, Uzbekistan, and
So
Colombia.
so we're gonna say Portugal, Jamaica, Augusta, whatever that name is, can't pronounce it
So
properly, and Colombia.
you believe Jamaica will be that
I think Jamaica will go through. I think Jamaica will make it through. I think some of these guys there would want to go back to Jamaica. So they have to win to go back home. I think that's what they're gonna come down to. Win or go back home, or lose or find another country. That's my belief. To that. But certainly it might turn out to be Colombia and Portugal in that pool. Yeah. But I would certainly like to see Jamaica at least make it through and win a game. Certainly win a game. Yeah.
yeah, they have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
I can see them qualifying. It will be hard for them to. They will go in tough. They will go in. They will go in tough.
Yeah, they were going tough. Yeah, they were going tough.
They're
Yeah.
going to prove
Yeah.
a point that they deserve to be in it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
will be important is giving them that support, getting that support.
And let me say, and I say this because yes, this is 48 teams. I don't know if I haven't heard if it's going to be 48 moving forward. to the next World Cup and so forth,
Oh,
right? And
yeah.
I haven't heard anything, and we yet don't know how many teams is coming out from the CONCACAF because we have three of them already. You know, so in the next World Cup, would they have that opportunity? You know, so it's now or it's going to be a long time to see.
I
You
think they
know,
will be. I think they'll be going forward with that because normally you once the World Cup is finished, you on to the next
yeah.
cycle. Normally they give, and for example, the host of the next World Cup already known, all these sort of things. So in terms of preparation
Yeah.
and logistics, all of that. So if any changes, they will have already announced
So
that they are changing.
the opportunity for Jamaica, um, a really strong opportunity for them to be in the World Cup game. It's this season. The next World Cup will be toss up. You'll be going against Canada. We'll be going against the United States. We'll be going against a lot of teams. And the
And
opportunity. I'm not saying they
especially
can't do it,
no,
but
because
it will be,
yeah,
yeah,
because and you made that point there, which is correct, because the US, Canada, and Mexico
automatic
host.
bid. Yeah,
Yeah,
they get an
so
automatic bid in. Yeah,
that's in the next for the next cycle of the World Cup. It means that the USA and Canada and Mexico
they
will
all
be
have to
recruiting
play for a spot. Yeah,
players and all of that, so which is
yeah.
important. So it will be a bit tough for those teams like Curacao and Suriname and
Curacao
you
and
know,
those Suriname and those teams and them
yeah.
certainly. That's what I'm saying. The opportunity for them is now. You know, certainly now. Yeah.
That's why I thought it was this time around was the best opportunity for teams like Grenada and others.
But even
Because
going back to Suriname is a part of that pool too. In the playoff toss up in I with France and Senegal. That Suriname is that toss up team. Certainly, so it'll also be good to see that as well. They get that opportunity to make it through. So surely we have to see how it goes for them because
let's
like
not
again the opportunity for that may not happen again.
let's not
And
forget
last but not least.
let's not forget that last group because I know a lot of folks. Group L,
Mhm.
England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama.
That is the pool of death. I know people saying there
Yeah,
is no pool of death. I
there's
know
always a
I
pool of
said
death,
it.
right?
This
Yeah,
to me is the pool of death. That is the
because
pool of death. Yeah.
Croatia. Let's okay. So England will always be England, but when you look at Croatia, you look at Ghana. Ghana,
Yeah.
um, you know, one of the best teams in
One
the
of the
African
best African
continent.
team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the best teams in the African
One of
continent.
the best team. One of the best
Then you
team.
have
And I
Croatia.
think yeah.
Um, they,
Yeah.
they they give
Croatia
some
is a
problems.
yeah. They give some serious
Uh,
problems. Serious.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is to me is the pool of death. Unfortunately, I guess it's only two teams are coming out of the thing. I don't know. I don't see the matchup. I don't. I would assume it's two teams from every pool. That's what I'm taking it to be, right? Um. So yeah. I surely it certainly would be. And I'm not even sure if I'm not even saying England either. I'm not even saying
Well,
England either. I am not even saying England either, Michael. This is a real toss up for those three teams, not including Panama. However, goals win matches, not the players. In terms of to say, oh, we have this player and this player. No, you could have
yeah.
all those superstars on the team, and if they don't score goal, then they can't win. And so the goal that win the matches. So even Panama could even win and do something and surprise them. We always have that Cinderella team that win a game that
But not
nobody
necessarily.
expect them
They
to.
could they could they
Nobody
could
expect that.
they could put points by holding out the team to a draw, for example.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah. And if they
could
do
prep.
that, listen, a
Yeah,
team like Panama draw is a win for them.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
Yeah,
hold a
it's a
team
win
to a
for
draw,
Panama. Yeah,
and
it's a win for
therefore
Panama. Yeah,
they hold a team like England with a draw. It means that England
with a
then
draw, it's a
must
win.
win.
Yeah,
Must win against another opponent, probably to move to the next stage.
to move on.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
you must have to put like going back to Group C. Haiti. Imagine Haiti draw with Brazil. That's a win for Haiti. That's really a big win for them at a world at that level that you draw a game. You didn't lose. I mean, to a big bad Brazil. Put it in those words, but you draw. That's a win for them. So that will make a huge difference for the country moving forward. And Michael, listen, we talk about seeing countries certainly supporting, government supporting. This is one of the countries that we know, we've seen what's going on in Haiti. We've seen, what's happening there, the starvation. We've seen the destruction of a country as Haiti. They are in the biggest sport in the world, the biggest sporting event in the world, and they are part of it. And when we hear about Haiti, we don't hear nothing good. We hear
Well,
negative. We see negative. But when we see this here, it shows certainly, man, there is something that is going on in this country in terms of government, which I hope other islands could see what the government is doing and what the sports administration is doing, and they can take a piece of that. Okay, in spite of
well,
what the country is, they tell themselves that football build a nation. Football get the people together. Football have an opportunity to make them not think of the situation in the moment. You know.
well, and then for the World Cup too, we have two of the stars who could be their last World Cup. You know, speaking of Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal, and we also
Hmm.
have Messi for Argentina. They
Yeah,
definitely could be
yeah,
their last.
definitely is
There'll
the
be
last. And
others,
I actually
yeah,
I thought the last one was Messi last, but certainly he is not. It's not his last the way he's playing right now. Even in the next 3 minutes, playing for the in the championship game. He started in at 2 o'clock against Vancouver. For
and
this club he's playing
Brian
for, right?
Ruiz.
Yeah, for the MLS, right? So definitely, he's still there. Certainly that could be the last that we see him. He may retire after this World Cup. He might call it quits.
What you said, may
Yeah.
retire?
Well,
I think
I mean, yeah,
38 or somewhere around there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Ronaldo is a 40, so certainly it's his last World Cup.
yeah.
But again, age is just a number. We never know what
He
can
doesn't
happen.
listen. We listen. Tom Brady came back. Tom
Yeah.
Brady came back and he went to a different team and he won he won a Super Bowl. So surely these guys in them definitely feel that they could be playing and especially if you go to one of those the team that they are playing for that even though at your age you are still better than 90% of the players on the team, you certainly will be playing football still at your age. So you
Mhm.
know, yeah.
Yeah. But definitely the World Cup will be something that we'll be monitoring.
Yeah, 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 no, for sure. And Michael, I've never watched a World Cup draw, and I really watched this one, and I was really impressed. I was really really
What's so
impressed.
impressive?
The way they did it, just in the style of the way they did it. And also what I was impressed with much is seeing that we don't have nations playing nations, like people in different regions so don't play each other. That also was so good to see. That's the way they're doing it, bringing in some of the celebrities to have them doing the draw. I've never watched a draw. Most
Oh,
of the time I never get a chance to watch it in the past, but when I've seen this one, it certainly was something big. And man, to tell you how big this is just to sit down and watch in the Kennedy's in the Kennedy building and seeing this going down. And it's all this, big people, big time footballers, countries and just in there sitting down and stuff. That was just an amazing sight to see how to say that, listen, the Olympics is not even close to that kind of level. In terms of when you see that kind of thing, yes, it's a different sport. I don't think there is any other sport that have that kind of hype, to it and that kind of stature to it. That was really impressive. I was impressed. I was very, very much impressed with that, with what I've seen. Like I said, I never seen it before. It certainly was my first time, but I was impressed. I was
right.
impressed.
All right. Well, normally, that's
Yeah, yeah.
we how we, as you say, normally how we do it. Um,
Yeah.
in terms of whether it's CONCACAF or FIFA, but yes, they do different. Even when we have the IPL, for example, every year, well, IPL is every year. The World
That's
Cup is
every year. Yeah.
every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
So
Yeah.
so some of them do it in at various levels, as
Different
you'll
ways.
see.
Yeah. Different
Yeah,
levels. Yeah. Yeah.
it's always a sort of impressive in terms of the draw, how they do it. They bring in in fact, when CONCACAF has a draw, sometimes they bring in all the coaches, right, of the teams
Of the
to be
teams.
there for the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this time around they had the president of the U.S. Well, they had the heads of states of
All
all
three,
the
all three, all
also
three heads of state was there. All three heads
right.
of state was there. Yeah, yeah.
And things
Yeah,
like
all
that.
three heads of state, and that was good. That was really good. Like certainly that was good. Yeah, man,
Uh,
you mentioned something last
um,
week.
no. Roger has said that
Uh,
he was not impressed with Kevin Hart. He was a misfit to
yeah,
the audience.
yeah,
Uh, Andrea C blew me away. Excellent performance. Yeah, well, the cultural aspect of it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Certainly,
I'm not
certainly.
sure. I'm not, sure how much Kevin Hart is to football. Well, they say soccer in the
Yeah,
US, and
certainly.
sometimes
Yeah.
that's probably where the misfit was, in terms of that.
I think they tried to put a star in because I guess the final game is in New Jersey. Um, so certainly, I thinking maybe I assuming that's why they probably bring somebody from is it New Jersey? No,
Yeah, you
where's
mean
the final game? New Jersey, right?
where the
The
final
final
will
game.
be? MetLife?
The
Yeah.
final will be
Well,
MetLife, right? Yeah.
they normally say New York. They normally say New York / New Jersey, right?
Yeah, just like so. I would also think maybe that's why they kind of bring him in, so kind of the culture of that part of it. So I don't know. Yeah, Michael, we know we're closing off soon, but we talk about highlights and disappointment for the year. I wouldn't go to my highlights until next week.
No, no,
Um,
definitely. That's why we have the final program, so we give
I,
enough
I
time.
will, but I will go to my disappointment. And
What's the
there's one is a young athlete, Nike, young American, young athlete coming up, and certainly was banned for 4 years. And that was certainly such a disappointment. Not on being banned, Michael, because we
yes?
have seen many athletes being banned. Is the fact that he get caught and he want to blame it on the oxtail. That is my problem. He said because he ate oxtail, and I'm saying that's the only story you can come up with. It was the oxtail that you ate, so that's just my biggest disappointment in terms of we have seen top athletes have been tested positive, and it's not some of them haven't been tested, they just never show up in places. So when you have three mixed, basically you are on drugs. That's the way they're seeing it, that's the way you understand it. But the fact that he could blame it on eating oxtail was a little bit disappointment for me, in terms of seeing disappointment in sports for the year, because he was a promising young athlete coming up, and to see that is his career done. He's not going to be at the next Olympics, so but he's young. But is he done? Because there is other athletes coming up,
Yeah,
in the ranking. So yeah,
aren't they responsible? They have personal responsibility. They're responsible for their own habits, their own
they do.
whatever it is. Because in
They
some
do. And
instances,
and listen,
some athletes are
Michael,
banned for whereabouts, not
yeah,
necessarily for instance,
no, that's it. And I'm
banned for
not listen. Yes, I'm saying it in terms of the oxtail kind of thing, but I do understand the concept of it because it's something he have to say. It's something his lawyers, his people have to tell him. But we do know of hormones and stuff is being injected in a lot of the foods and some of the animals and so forth. That's we understand. And I totally understand that you might eat something that may have something in it but that's understandable. We kind of get that concept about it, because of all the antibiotics, all the stuff that they're putting into this stuff. Some of them is being grown in a back room and those type of things, right? That way we get, and that's a story we really need to have maybe in the near
because
future in terms of
the
what
other
kind of
thing
food
about it,
people eat. Like,
yeah, but
what do the
yeah,
athletes eat now, right?
yeah,
What do they eat,
but
right?
there is this sort of as I indicated, the personal responsibility. So, for example, I
Yeah,
have been around some of these professional athletes already, right? And I have seen where they have asked for water, for example, and they will ensure that water comes in a sealed bottle.
in a steel bottle. Yeah,
So they will open the
I've seen that.
bottle.
They were opening themselves.
If they ask for a drink, the drink will be sealed and they will open the
Seal.
drink as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
So
that.
it's
I've
not
seen it.
something where they pour it wherever in the back, and then they
Pour
bring
it,
it for
pour it from
them,
the back, and they
or,
bring it for you. Yeah,
and it's all
yeah,
part of their personal responsibility, because they say,
yeah,
especially during competition, they want to be very particular of what they
yeah.
put in their body,
Of what
because
they put in their body.
ultimately they're responsible. They don't want to
Yeah.
say after that, oh, it could be when I went to this restaurant and they served me this, or this, that,
Yeah.
and the other.
It's on you.
You responsible.
It's on
It's on
you.
you.
It's on you.
Responsible.
It's on you.
Right?
Yeah, and that's why suddenly when I hear you mention that, and I'm saying no, it's on you. And I know you have to come up with something. You have to say something. Like I said, it's PR people probably time to blame it on that. Listen, and unless that's the case, Michael, we can't go into competition. That means the oxtail we've been eating, we can't even go in. And imagine if they're testing us to go to an event, we can't even go to the event because we've been eating so much oxtail. Like if that's the case, but I would just, like, listen, you get caught, say you get caught. And by being honest, it could
Yeah.
lessen somebody could get 2 years. There's a lot of little things you can get from it.
And
Um,
what we see in the next few years, Rudian, is a lot of challenges for these sportsmen and sportswomen in various
yeah,
sports, in terms of testing and whatever it is
testing.
it takes, because of
Yeah,
so many things these days.
so
They'll
many
be
things.
they'll
Yeah,
be doing a lot of testing, so it becomes so
yeah.
challenging now for
So
athletes, and that's why,
that's it. Yeah,
especially
yeah,
our young sportsmen and sportswomen, now is the time for them to be mentored
to be
into
mentored.
the, yeah, and conscious of what's happening, what's taking place,
Yeah,
the changes,
yeah, yeah.
how things are evolving, so they will have
Mhm.
an idea, and
Yeah.
not when they
And
have
what
gone.
gets me,
Yeah.
and what gets me too is we might look at it as in track and field, because track and field they'll put it out there. Other sports you get banned, they don't really put it out there in all sports. But a lot is all sports get tested, not only one. All
Mhm.
sports is being tested, every single sport. So a lot of these athletes
Yeah.
might think, well, no, they don't do this soccer. Then no, they're in soccer, so they do it. It's like all sport. So surely we have to be able to nurture them now and teach them things now and talk to them about the things now that they are putting in their body. That's very important. Very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially well, you talk about and we want to highlight too is our young one, those in the high
Yeah.
school and things like that. So
Yeah.
because they're the ones who somewhere or the other will be impacted, to some extent.
Because Michael is not yet, but
They might be impacted.
would it be would the question be before you get a scholarship they have to drug test you? Before you go into a school they're gonna drug, like, would it come down to that in the near future? So a lot of these things is out that is question to be asked.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So if you don't nurture them now, when it's too late,
Yeah.
you have to do it now.
One of the other things, Rudy, and that I'm hoping that for 2026 is for our this and I think you mentioned it to an extent, but I am hoping, I think it was mentioned somewhere, not during the minister's presentation, but during the finance minister's presentation, the certification of our coaches, right?
Yeah.
In various sporting disciplines, right? The certification of our coaches. I think that to me is very much
Very
important,
important. Very
right?
much so. Yeah.
And in going, yeah, and in going forward, I'm hoping that this is something they can do more. Our coaches can be very certified, and things like that. In whatever areas they can be certified, right? Um,
Because one of the things
One
Mr.
disappointment.
Ando
Go ahead, go ahead, Rudy.
One of the things Mr. Anders spoke about something last week, and he said that one of the things that's happening is that a lot of schools is getting help from a lot of young people now, just going in and start coaching and so forth. Because you're a good athlete, it doesn't mean you're a good coach. And many of us, myself, and I always tell my athletes, I cannot coach you the way I was coached. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do the type of work I done. Basically, because I can see, the best of the ability that you have now. The work that Kiwani did, I probably couldn't have done it. You know,
Yeah,
um, You guess what I'm saying? So everybody had to have a different level of training. So it doesn't necessarily mean now that Kriani done now he can be a coach. Not necessarily in a sense, right? Because now are you if you're not if you don't have a course, or you go to get a certificate for coaching, you're going to start coaching people the way you coach, and then you're going to be starting hurting kids because the things you do they cannot do it. The discipline you have, they don't have it. So I'll definitely like to see a lot of these kids, like young people, get some sort of level of coaching and the basic of coaching, and then they could take it from there and move on.
Yeah. I wanted to just add to my disappointment. I know we'll speak in depth about that at our final program, but some of the non-functional national sporting associations in Grenada, right? And we have too many of them. One has to
Yeah.
do with tennis, lawn tennis. I don't know when last you heard about that. Tennis.
Yeah.
Um, as it is now, tennis is, it used to be if Richie Hughes doesn't say anything about tennis, then you don't hear anything,
You don't hear
right?
about it.
Richie Hughes has retired, and it means that if everything has just gone, including the main playing facility, the Tantine tennis court. That
Yeah.
is basically in ruin as far as I see. Okay.
Yeah.
We never, I don't even know who's the president of the tennis association, the lawn tennis association as it is, right? Once upon a time, tennis used to be the go as swimming, you know. Um, you going across the Tantine area and there's traffic, especially on a Saturday, because so many kids playing tennis. Then later in the afternoon, the adults are there and everyone is parked along there. Traffic. I was in Grenada a few weeks ago, Rudian, and I passed along that area there. And it's to see the condition
Yeah.
of the playing facility, the tennis facility, which to me is an eyesore now. But then you don't even hear anything from an association perspective. I don't
But
even know if there's an existing tennis association in Grenada. So that's one. There are other non-functioning associations, and next week we'll highlight some of those, right?
yeah.
Time for them. And last December we did the same thing, and then some of them started bubbling and doing little things and putting out little things, but we have to juke them again.
Yeah.
Too many non-functioning sporting associations in Grenada. And some of them, you only hear about them or something related to them when there is some trip, for them
Mm.
to travel to some this, that, or the other. So they may be going to some, function, some seminar, and they travel, whoever they are. But you don't hear anything that they're doing in terms of,
Yeah. Do. Yeah.
development of the sports, right? And that needs to stop. And we need to start blasting them. Whoever they are, you need to come out from wherever you're hiding and do something regarding sports, or relinquish your post. Call fresh elections. Give it to new people to run. Too many non-functioning sporting associations in Grenada, and the Olympic Committee must also look at that, because in most
It's an
cases they're
Olympic sport.
affiliates,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
affiliates of the Olympic Committee. So the
Mm-hmm.
Olympic Committee needs to do their work as well. The Ministry of Sports need to also do their work to ensure that these associations, while you cannot get involved in the running of the affairs, but especially when they come to you for whatever it is, they
Whatever it
need to
is. Yeah.
present to you their work plan, what they have been doing, what they have accomplished, what they plan to do, how, how regular they hold meetings, what is their development plan, So we need to hold these sporting associations accountable, one, but to an extent, Olympic Committee, the Grenada Olympic Committee, as well as the Ministry of Sports also need to hold them accountable. They need to hold them accountable. So these are things that we'll be highlighting next week, God's
Next
willing,
week.
on our final
Yeah.
program. Yeah, they have to
Yeah.
do better than that. Yeah, Rudian?
Certainly. Certainly. I agree.
One other thing I need to show our fans, and I think I showed you, Rudian, this is our Talk Sports. This is our Talk Sports gift, Rudian, and we will be yeah, you love it, right?
I do. Michael, let's see. I have my team hotness here. If I had my talk sport, I'd have been promoting it.
No, you will have your Talk Sports mug. Don't
Yeah, I
worry.
know, I know, I
You
know.
certainly will have your Talk Sports mug.
Yeah. And
Um,
Roger, you need to get one.
yeah. Well, folks like Roger and Edwin and those folks, they will all
And
have
yeah,
their
they all
yeah.
have their own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll have their Talk Sports mug. Don't worry about that.
yeah.
We have them covered. Yeah, they are covered. So Talk Sports, you have your mug, and folks, yeah. So Rudian, and hopefully in the new year when we have our new program, we'll have
Yeah,
your Talk
we'll
Sports
have our
mug.
mug. Yeah,
All
we'll
our
have our
folks on
mug.
the show will
Yeah,
have our Talk Sports mug, right? Yeah.
yes.
All right, Rudian. So it's always a pleasure. We look forward to our
Always a
last
pleasure.
and final program for
Yes.
2025, which will be
Next
next
week. Yeah.
Saturday, God's willing. And we hope to
Hmm.
highlight and deal with some of our things. Okay?
All right. Have a good one, man.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
All
very
the best.
much. All right.
And stay warm, Rudian. Stay warm.
I certainly will, man. I certainly will. Uh,
Okay. So that's Rudian Silva, my co-host here in Toronto, Canada, where it is cold, right? Where it is cold. Um, and folks, as we say, our final program next Saturday, sorry, God's willing. Why I say Wednesday. Yeah, next Saturday, God's willing, will be our final program for 2025 and for the year. Yeah, right? For the month as well. Yeah. And then we'll take a break, wish everyone the Christmas, New Year, and we'll return in January, God's willing, with another um, season of Talk Sports. And as I indicated, certainly you can look forward to your Talk Sports bag. Yeah. We have some of our items already. Talk Sports, yeah. Yeah, we'll have our jugs, we'll have our caps, we'll have our t-shirts, and a couple other items, right? So that's all, folks. That's all for our program for this weekend. Whatever you're doing, do it with some level of modesty. Lots of sports on, a lot of sport in action. If you can go out to look at it, well, in Grenada in particular, there is the Kellon Baptiste, the annual Kellon Baptiste Memorial Football game on at the Monrouge playing field. You can go down there. By the way, you can also meet and greet Thea Lafont, the first Olympic medalist from Dominica, the island of Dominica. As you know, Thea has become a Caribbean darling, right? In the triple jump, right? She is in Grenada. She'll be meeting some of the youngsters. So even the parents, if you want to bring your young ones down there and get some autographs and things like that. So Thea will be there, and yeah, you can meet some stardom because she has been she is not what she is still the first Dominican medalist. Um, yeah, in the triple jump. And she's there on the invitation of the Kellon Baptiste Foundation Inc. And she'll be speaking. Well, she was expected to speak to some of the youngsters earlier today, but she'll be there as well as part of as guest of the Kellon Baptiste Foundation Inc. So for those who want to meet and greet and get some little autographs and things, you can bring the kids, get some autographs and things like that. So feel up for. Thank you very much, folks. That's all for our program for this weekend. Until then, do have yourself a pleasant weekend.